Caught my wife cheating on me and I know exactly when it started. I caught my wife with AP in our bed and I kicked him out of my house. Me 44M and my STBX F39 been married for 11 years, no kids. We were a pretty chubby couple until 2 years ago when I had a blood test and it came out that I was prone to contracting diabetes, gout and hypertension. It really scared me and we both bit by bit started to have a very healthy life. I went from 117 to 85 kilograms and my wife, let's call her Jane, from 83 to 65 kilograms. We felt great and needless to say I never developed those diseases. We attended to a gym almost daily in the afternoon where AP worked as a coach. Let's call him Baldy. When my wife started getting in shape I noticed most guys turned to see her. I felt so proud of her. She is fairly busty and she has magnificent legs. Of course Baldy wasn't the exception. I noticed Baldy likes to check women's butt. I've seen him doing it several times, and he likes to show off how ripped he is. When Jane and I were regulars at the gym I noticed she was enjoying the attention she got from men. Once, we were using the elliptical machines. In front of them there is a cable machine. Baldy took off his t-shirt and started doing crossovers. I turned to Jane with my face of "Can you believe this guy?" But she was staring at him and she wet her lips. I saw Baldy and I swear he was grinning. I felt crushed. I mean, I was getting in shape but I am not as muscular and fit as he is. When we were driving home, I made a comment about Baldy showing off and Jane said, "Really? I didn't notice. I told her you were staring." She said, "I don't remember." I must have been thinking about something else. I shrugged it and kept driving, but from there on I noticed they were talking more frequently at the gym. Some weeks later Jane was doing squats using the Smith machine. Suddenly Baldy went to help her. Isn't he nice? He was grabbing her by the waist and I got angry. She finished the first set and I got there and told him in a not nice way, "I got it from here." Baldy just smiled and told me, "No prob, buddy." He calls everybody buddy, and walked off. Jane knows me very well and when she heard my angry tone, she said, "My God, op." I told her we'll discuss this at home. At home drama blowed up. She called me immature and jealous. I told her I noticed he was trying to get into her pants. She said that she knows that, but she would never cheat on me. I said then why she let him touch her and she said she didn't want to be rude. About an hour later arguing we agreed to change gym. So we went to another place to do exercise but Jane was resentful at me in the following months. Her argument was that I don't trust her. On the third month after we changed gym, a very good opportunity opened up in my job, but in the afternoon, we discussed it and I took it and we had to attend the gym at different hours. I went in the morning and Jane in the afternoon. This is when it all went south. Jane's resentment increased and we barely speak. I send her messages telling her about my day, that I miss her, memes. But she rarely replied or just yes, okay, same here, ha ha ha. I was very worried and proposed couple therapy. She said I was the one who needs therapy because I'm the one with trust issues. I agreed. I was so desperate to fix our marriage that I even thought it was all my fault. So the following year, 2022, I went to therapy but Jane's behavior didn't change. We weren't intimate anymore, she never was in the mood. I snooped to her phone but didn't find anything out of the ordinary. I looked into her car for a second phone. Nothing. I checked her phone again to see her map history. It only showed me house, work, house, gym, house. Whenever I tried to talk to her, she just said she feels that she's having a 40s phase. It'll pass. I never had any evidence of cheating so I continued working and worrying. We live in a condo. The security guard, a very cheerful man called Mr. P, greeted me. We chat a lot. He was touching his shoulder and told me yesterday he had to move a heavy sofa and he has some pain today. I was sympathetic and he dropped the bomb. "Maybe you can arrange a meeting with your massagist." I told him who? He said the guy who came yesterday to massage Mrs. Jane. It took me a second to process this. I told him, "Do you have a video of him?" I think he noticed I was pale and hurried to show me. Guess who? Baldy, of course. He has come a few times to massage my wife. I took the day off and started investigating. I asked a coworker for his car and in the afternoon I followed Jane. She parked her car at the mall where the gym is, and there is Baldy waiting for her. They giggle and behave like a couple. Kisses, hugs, and I feel nearly to tear. They walk a couple of blocks and go into a residential area. I tried to follow them with my phone ready to record, but the guard stopped me and asked, "Can I help you?" I just said, "What a nice couple, do you know them?" He said he thinks they are newlyweds, but can't tell me anything else. I called Jane but never answered. I went to her car in the mall and wondered why that place doesn't show on the map. I dial again and I can hear her phone inside her car. That's why. I also found out Jane hasn't attended the gym in 8 months. I didn't know that the previous night was the last day I slept with Jane in the same bed. I returned the car and went home, and called my parents. Fortunately my dad answered and I told him everything. I was crying and he comforted me and told me to get evidence. Obviously my marriage is over, and I need all I can gather while he'll contact one of his friends who is an excellent divorce lawyer. Jane called me when saw the 2 missing calls. I just told her I was already at home and she told me I'm on my way from the gym. My butt is killing me, yeah, I can guess. When she saw me she asked what happened. Why did you cry? I don't know how, but I was mentally focused. I smiled and told her I got the flu, that's why I left work early. Don't come near me, it might be the bug, I'll be tested tomorrow. I'll sleep in the spare room. She agreed. I cried silently and didn't sleep a wink. Nearly midnight I heard her giggling. I guess she's messaging Baldy, but I didn't find any evidence of contacting another man. Then it hit me, why didn't I see it earlier? I bet AP is disguised as one of her female co-workers. In the morning while Jane was in the shower I took her phone and created a session in my laptop and put her phone back in the same place. We both can unlock our phones. The session works while the phone is close to my laptop or in the same Wi-Fi account. Then I saw it. Under a female name, the profile picture was a dumbbell. I entered and most of the conversations were deleted. I guess they use work words as code in case I snooped. Can you deliver the papers in my desk? I know she doesn't have a desk at work. Going to the meeting, where are you? On the top of them, boss is in his office. He's clueless, pretty clever. I guess I am boss because I know her boss is a woman. Jane got out of the shower and saw me. You look worse, why don't stay with your parents? I denied the idea, thinking of getting evidence. After Jane went out I contacted my dad and gave me the name and number of the lawyer. I called him and explained everything. He told me the captions I took from my laptop are useless. They don't have any factual evidence since it's not AP's name, and she was smart enough to leave pieces of conversation that looks pretty innocent. I can take pictures of them at the mall, but she can argue they are just good fellas and I can't invade into the residential area without permission because it might get me into more trouble. At work I was in zombie mode, thinking how to get evidence. I might install secret cameras in my house, but Baldy rarely goes to my home and Jane might find them. Unless I'm out of the picture. I texted Jane and told her I'm positive of the bug and I'll stay at my parents because I might need help. She liked the idea and told me she would miss me but she'll call me every day. When I hung up, I called my dad and my brother. When I got home she had already packed a suitcase for me. She was so eager of getting rid of me. I told her I'll take my laptop and then I checked her messages. Boss will be out of the office, wanna come to my desk? She sent this message almost after I told her I was positive to the bug. Good, she bit. We didn't have dinner, no kisses, no hugs. I noticed her watching her watch twice. From the door I told her, I'll miss you. I was expecting her to shut the door on my face, but she walked me to my car. And I was gone. My dad and brother were outside the building waiting for Baldy to appear, but he didn't show up. After half an hour I thought, why did she walk me to my car? Of course. Because Baldy was already inside the building waiting, perhaps inside her car. It would be very suspicious if her massagist came at this hour. I came back, hurried to my house and entered silently. I heard music coming from the bedroom and the moaning. Next to the door there is a sofa, his and her clothes were on it. I put my phone to record and opened the bedroom door and there she was, my wife, the love of my life for 11 years and all four, and Baldy behind her. I got a very good seconds of both of their faces when they saw me open the door. Jane screamed and covered herself with the blanket. Baldy went alpha male, immediately walking naked towards me. I took a shot of him doing raw my wife. He yelled aggressively at me, why don't go for a walk, buddy? I hit his throat with my hand opened. I saw this movement in the Mel Gibson movie Ransom. The next second Baldy was coughing and gasping, kneeling on the floor. I yelled, get out of my house. And kicked him out. I threw his clothes at him when my dad, brother and Mr. P were arriving to my house. I told them I'll take it from here and closed the door. Jane was still on the bed covering herself. She was trembling. I told her, I have never hurt you, nor will I. Get dressed, I'll wait for you in the living room. While I was waiting I sent the video to my lawyer and he answered, I'm sorry for you, but jackpot. A few minutes later Jane showed up. She couldn't see me in the eyes. I started recording the conversation. I asked why? She didn't answer. Was I such an awful husband to you? She started crying but didn't answer. Do you love him? She shook her head but no words. I stood up and hit the table. Say something, Jane. Damn it. She opened her eyes wide and started trembling again, like a puppy when is scared. I have never yelled at her before. I sat and talked calmly. My lawyer will contact you for the divorce. Get a lawyer, she finally spoke. We can fix this. Fix what? Our marriage was over since Baldy was on the picture and you choose him over me. It was a mistake. No, it wasn't. It was a choice. You chose and this is the consequence. What did you think would happen when I find out? Silence again. Go to your sister's and tell her the truth or I will show her the video. She went to the bedroom and started packing. I followed her and watched. Since 2 days ago I was trying to convince myself my wife is long gone. The person who I shared my house with is not my wife. But seeing her, putting her clothes inside the suitcase neatly, with her gracious movements and those little things I love of her hit me hard. I went to the spare room and started ugly crying. I heard when she closed the main door. She picked her clothes that were on the sofa. She made the bed where I caught them and I dropped on the floor. So much later I called my dad. He told me Baldy wanted to press charges, but Mr. P told him he didn't sign in, so he's trespassing, the condo can sue him. He dropped it and went out. My nosy brother pressed his ear on the door and my dad took him from the other ear to his car. I was exhausted. The previous days I didn't sleep well. So I almost passed out on the spare room. Next morning my phone had a lot of Jane's messages apologizing and asking for a second chance. I just blocked her. My sil called me, apparently Jane hasn't told her what happened, just that we're fighting. I guess it's good my Phil is not alive to see Jane's behavior, she was the youngest and his favorite. Mill has senile dementia. All this happened a week ago, next week Jane is going to be served. Update. D-Day +1, free. I had a nice chat with Mr. P, he confessed he faked his shoulder pain, he just wanted to warn me about Baldy. At night I spoke to my lawyer, he said he's making the divorce papers. He couldn't start until he had the evidence. So my divorce will be divorce by mutual consent that's smoother than uncaused divorce that's longer and pretty nasty. Also he told me not to share the video. Jane will be served in 2 weeks. Sil called me but I told her to ask Jane why we're divorcing. D-Day +3, son. I visited my parents, my mom cried with me, she really loved Jane, my dad had a chat with me about my money, properties and stuff. When I returned home Mr. P told me Jane and Baldy showed up. I guess they are going to make public their relationship now that the cat is out of the bag. But strangely they came at different times. Jamie came in the morning, she parked her car and saw mine wasn't there. Tried to enter my house but her key doesn't work anymore. Then she asked Mr. P if he knew where I went, he didn't know and told her Mr. Op gave me this for you my attorney's card, she kept it and left. Baldy came in the afternoon and first asked to see Jane. Mr. P told him Mrs. Jane, emphasis on Mrs., doesn't live here anymore then asked to see me and Mr. P told him Mr. Op is away. No idea when he'll return and he left. I guess they both are not in contact yet. D-Day +11, moan. Yesterday Monday morning I went to my old gym. I was not sure if I'd meet Baldy. He was nowhere. I asked to talk to Frank, the gym owner. I asked about Baldy, he told me Monday is his day off. Then I explained the reason of my visit. He listened carefully until I finished and finally showed him the video. He stayed silent and thinking. He said you're not gonna like this. Baldy is heads over heels for Jane. He told me Baldy had many complaints especially from female members but for the last months he has changed. No complaints and he's very professional to all members. Baldy is also trying to marry Jane by baby trapping her. Next we discussed about firing Baldy. Frank said he has to report the situation to the coach association, not real name, and he surely has to fire him because Jane was a gym member or Frank's gym could have legal repercussions. About his license as coach I need to make a legal document explaining Baldy is the reason of my divorce, the key number of my divorce case, and the video. Next I see Baldy coming to the gym. He extended his hand. I crossed my arms and left him with the hand hanging. What the hell you want? I looked angrily directly to his eyes. He sat in front of me. Listen, I want to say I'm sorry for everything. I never wanted to hurt you and I really care about Jane well, you just said 3 lies to my face. You are not sorry, you did mean to destroy my life and you just care about yourself. He changed from apologetic to annoyed. Okay, whatever man. Just tell me where Jane is. Last time I saw her was when I kicked her cheating ass out of my house after I kicked you out naked. Baldy's face changed color to red. That was a cheap shot. I should sue you as far as I know. You entered my home illegally and perhaps you were assaulting my wife. I have videos of you getting out but you didn't sign in. Frank asked him to see him in his office. Harry looked impressed. He grabbed Baldy's arm and pulled him. Dude, you're in deep shit. I finally left. Update. Last weekend I met Jane. It was pretty much as I expected. Pleading and lost of crying on both sides. Surprisingly, she didn't blame me. She admitted it was all on her. When she snooped my phone she saw I moved from the condo, my Reddit posts, so she knows everything I know, and more important to her that I'm not dating. She came on time, alone and stunning, new short dress, high heels, that she hates but she knows I like her wearing them. I won't lie, my heart skipped a beat. She smiled at me when I opened the door, Like she was so happy to see me. I remained calm and expressed less. She opened her arms expecting a hug, but I rejected that. I offered tea. She loves chamomile tea. She accepted and I made myself a coffee. We sat in front of each other, the table in the middle. I took out my phone and started recording. After some dumb chit-chat, she made me feel awkward again. She told me she's read my post and the waterworks began. She said the Jane who made me suffer is gone now. She says that the thing called a fair fog is real and she can't believe what she did to me. I told her I think it is BS that Flirty brainwashed her. She's 10 times smarter than that. I demanded her to tell me the truth. She went silent and I raised my voice. No, Jane, you are not allowed to be silent again. I had to breath because I was getting angry. You have to come clean to me right now. I know more than what you wrote in your letter. Sadly, she admitted she wanted to F Baldy. She admitted she loved the attention she was receiving, and when she saw Baldy devouring her with his eyes she felt thrilled and aroused. She confessed it began before the elliptical machines incident about a week before when I was changing clothes in the showers and she was waiting for me outside. Baldy chatted with her and he was flirty and she couldn't believe he'd come on to her. She cried when she told me this. I asked, is that what it takes for you to throw your morals and ethics away? A strong body and a bird brain? From that moment I refer to Baldy as bird brain. She said she was really stupid and selfish and that she gave me for granted. But she assures me that this was only physical, never emotional. She swears she never said to him I love you, and I am the only owner of her heart and her body. I breathed and regained some composure. I told her it's been about 3 months since we had sex and last time I could tell you weren't into it. I bet you were longing for bird brain. She says that's not true because according to her, she can't bear a life without me. I said I don't believe you. You had a good income. I said I don't believe you. You had a good income. You could easily sustain a decent life with bird brain. She repeated she doesn't love him and he was just a toy. I called BS one more time and reminded her when I saw them in the mall. I'm gonna copy this part. OP, I saw you at the mall, with him. Hugging, kissing like when we were engaged. She was fidgeting. I'm so sorry. OP, tell me the truth. You do love him. She shook her head. I liked how people stared at us. But I don't love him. Seems like you were the perfect couple, which would never happen with us, right? You love the attention which you would never have with a person like me. Please, don't say that. Why not? It's true. It is. I don't perceive myself as an attractive man. I'm the kind of guy anybody wouldn't look twice. No, you are the man of my dreams. I only want to be with you. If you love me so much, then why cheating? What did he give you I didn't? She couldn't answer the question. I repeated it and she covered her face with her hands and finally admitted she considered Birdbrain's body more attractive than mine. Another jab. It was something I expected, but damn. It hurt. I swear it was a moment of weakness and I hate myself for that, she said. 1 moment? I yelled again. That moment lasted 9 months. Crying again. It went out of control. OP, 9 months. 9 effing months of disrespect and lies. Tell me, how could I trust you ever again? Was Birdbrain the only one? What will happen when the next douchebag steps in front of you? You were very good at lying and hiding your cheating. Now she looked desperate. I'm telling you the truth. I know you have no reason to believe me. But I've reflected. I've seen my life without you and I am so sorry. I'm sorry I cheated on you. I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry your family hates me. But most of all, I am so ashamed I hurt you. I'm begging for your forgiveness. I'm here to come clean and fix things so we could be together again. A lot of tears fell from her face. Before D-Day I'd give an arm to ease those tears. Today I only felt anger. OP, I think you are not getting it. I can no longer trust you. I can't be your husband anymore. There is no way I can forget you in that room with him. You texted him the very same day I told you I was going to my parents and you were ready to get rid of me. My God, Jane. Half an hour after I left, he was inside you and raw. And you even let him finish inside. Why? By this moment I was crying too and I forced her to answer. She looked defeated. She said it made Birdbrain more excited and she liked it, and since she can't get pregnant she thought it didn't matter. I swallowed saliva because I felt a huge knot in my throat. With trembling voice, I asked, what else? I was fishing for more information. I didn't expect to hear what was coming. Jane couldn't see me in the eyes. She looked down and said he made me beg him to finish inside. This was an uppercut to me. I couldn't speak for several minutes. This is when I hit rock bottom. We both cried and Jane only said, forgive me, forgive me. She tried to grab my hand but I removed it. Then she told me the first time Birdbrain finished inside was the first time she denied intimacy to me. She felt dirty and didn't want me to be tainted. I felt disgusted. I almost threw up. She swears that's when Birdbrain became more demanding and threatened to come and tell me everything because he thinks Jane belongs to him. I couldn't utter a word, I could still feel the knot in my throat. I wiped my tears with my sleeve. I used our signs language to tell her that her makeup was running. She went to the bathroom and I could catch my breath to calm down a little. While she was away, I could confirm there is no way I'd take her back. I'm so disgusted, I feel like I was gutted out. But also I knew I needed to know this. I needed to know how deep the rabbit hole goes. I don't want to carry this anger and confusion anymore. When she came back from the bathroom I told her I can't go on. I need space and time. She said she understood. Before she left, she asked me if I will ever forgive her. I told her I don't know, but I appreciate her honesty. She hugged me, I didn't return the hug. She cried and I could feel her tears wetting my neck. She swore in the name of my late father-in-law, who was her hero, she will never cheat on me ever again, that she has gone no contact with Birdbrain. She called him Birdbrain herself, and to devote her life to us, to our marriage. She even proposed to gain weight again so I'd be sure she's committed to me. I told her she's saying nonsenses, we both made a big effort to lose weight. But she says therapy made her realize she's a narcissist and an attention junkie. I gave her a key copy of the condo to get all her stuff. She finally left. I thought I'd cry a lot, but strangely I had a feeling of relief. It feels like my mind is telling me now you can move on. I lay down and reflected a lot. I even skipped a meal. In my mind I finally accepted the love of my life is gone. I guess I got my closure. Thanks for watching.